So I think there is some video problem that is happening with me. So it is maybe as I go about. I think I'm audible, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
very
yes.
much.
Okay. So very good evening, everybody. On it's a privilege to give you and welcome you all here on behalf of Parle Tilak Vidyalaya Association's ML Dhanukar College of Commerce. I, Mr. Somnath Ramendra Deshmukh, Assistant Professor from the Department of English, heartily welcome you all to this national webinar on mesmerizing world of MBA, so organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell, that is IQAC, Department of Commerce and Department of English in association with CPLC India. PTVS ML Dhankar College of Commerce has been at the forefront in organizing webinars in various crucial themes from the perspectives of learners from all walks of life. The present webinar on mesmerizing world of MBA is one such in the series. We as organizing team are deeply delighted with a huge response that we have been getting in all the webinars, right from the international webinar that started in the month of April till what has happened yesterday and now today also. So thank you very, very much. Though COVID pandemic 19, this COVID-19 has brought a disturbing halt to all our activities. Yet it was heartening to see the interest of the learners, educationists, and industry personals whose association have helped to keep our morale high. So, thank you again. Talking about today's webinar, I recall a quote by management expert Aga Hassan Abedi. He says that the conventional definition of management is getting work done through people, but real management is developing people through work. So today we have a person who will take us to and initiate us through this journey towards mesmerizing world of MBA and help us to equip ourselves with the guidelines pertaining to MBA and MBA entrance test and gain knowledge about various courses related to MBA and measure the possibilities of success. So, in our endeavor to attain to these goals, we have our beloved Principal Dr. Jnaneshwar Doke, who had been constantly guiding us and has been a great source of inspiration all the time. Today, as I told you, he's been a little caught up with certain errands that he had to run. So, otherwise, Sir has definitely extended his heartfelt wishes for you all to the speaker, Mr. Vishesh, and to all the participants. And as he could not be there, and we are fortunate enough to have our convener, Dr. Kanchan Fulmali, joining us. She is the Department of Commerce, HOD, Department of Commerce, Board of Studies member, and also is a renowned figure in the field of commerce and an IKC member. So we are privileged to have our convener, Dr. Kanchan Fulmali, madam, with us. I request her to welcome you all. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so. Am I audible?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. So thank you so. And I'm welcoming to all my participants first. And of course, I'm welcoming our very renowned speaker and today's resource person, Vishesh sir. So welcome you, sir. And uh, this is our privilege. We have to keep this one of the professional course guidance lecture for you, which is really important for student as well for the teachers also, because many teachers also to nowadays find out about to improve their course or improve their themselves in education field. So within this area, uh, I think today's date and pandemic date, whatever the webinars we are going to conducting here, within this webinar also, I'm thinking so really very, very informative. And I think it will be definitely beneficial for all the student as well to the teachers also. So we call here the resource person from IIM Calcutta, and he will definitely guide you on all these MBA.
Yes.
We have to keep here this name, mesmerizing world of MBA, because you know that nowadays in management area, what the Somnath just now spoke here about management, that is uh, taking things done by through the people and all. So within that, now this particular old concept now change, and now it is goes on more and more. So like MBA, M for machine learning, maybe B for blockchains, and maybe A for artificial intelligence. Yes, you will definitely learn under MBA also all these concepts. And maybe Vishesh sir will guide you what way you have to take up all these things, and why this MBA you have to do now within these days. What is the importance of this till date, and yes, in future also. Our college, yes, definitely, already once again Som told that ki, our principal is little busy, and he could not join with us. But on behalf of him, I definitely want to tell you that our college is really very, very renowned college in Mumbai suburban area, as well all over Mumbai. Not only this, we have today's date 5,000, more than 5,000 students, and meritorious students we have. Even we are also taking such kind of professional courses, and at the same time, we have very much renowned and very, very popular within the area of cultural as well in sports also. So our college is really one of the best college in Mumbai. So Vishesh sir, definitely you will get here lot of students participation. Maybe they ask you questions, and you definitely solve their questions also. So I'm giving and over to Shuddhodan. I think
No,
Shuddhodan or maybe Somnath. Yeah, Somnath, please take over this. So thank you, Vishesh sir, and thank you, Som.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Give me a moment. Uh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Please go ahead, sir.
So give me a moment to introduce you. At least it's a privilege that I introduce you today, and it's an honor for us to have a resource person like you. As Dr. Fulmali have just said in her characteristic style, that M for machine learning and B for they gotten into the artificial elements and artificial intelligence and other elements. So we have our Mr. Vishesh, who has completed his BTech in chemical engineering and his MBA from IIM Kolkata. So he has seen both the world, and he has delivered many national level presentations at the undergraduate and postgraduate level, and many students have benefited from his erudition and expertise in the field. He has trained over 10,000 students in aptitude at different levels. With rich experience of over 12 years in teaching and mentoring, his forte lies in MBA entrances and MBA college counseling. He believes in the sustained process of learning, and hence he's pursuing an online psychology course from Shunya University also. His hobbies are having meaningful conversations with students and enriching himself through those interactions. So we believe that a resource person of his caliber will definitely motivate all the participants here, be it to students and teachers, all of us alike, and he will take us through this mesmerizing world of MBA. I now request Mr. Vishesh to kindly take over, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so first of all, I want to thank Dr. Kanchan ma'am to give this an opportunity to me, and definitely Somnath sir. I mean, you have helped a lot in case of organizing this event, and also all the staff members from MLDC who have helped a lot in organizing this event. So let us begin. So hi everyone. So there is one person by the name of Nitesh. Nitesh, I request you to please switch off your camera. अपना कैमरा प्लीज बंद कर दो नितेश. Okay, so I will put everyone on mute now so that everyone can hear me only. Okay, great. So MBA is, many people think that MBA is a master's degree. Let us understand first that MBA is not just a master's degree. So there is so much to learn in MBA. So today I will be taking you through all the parts of MBA. I will take you through why MBA is necessary. I will take you through the different fields that are in MBA, the niche fields that are in MBA. Then I will take you through, just hold on for a second. I will take you through all the colleges which are there for MBA in India, the entrances which are there, timeline which is there, etc. So this will help you all a lot in future when you decide to go for an MBA. So I'm starting with my PPT. So just hold on for a second. You will be able to see the shared PPT soon. Okay, great. So I guess you all are able to see the PPT now?
Yes, properly.
Okay, great, ma'am.
Nice.
So as I was saying, MBA. Now, as I said, that MBA is not just about a degree. So you must have heard different names in terms of MBA. You must have heard about MBA. You might have heard about PGDM, MMS, PGP, PGDBM, PGPM, etc. So these are the different names. If you go abroad, there are few more names like MIM, which is again a part of MBA. So understand that MBA is more learning about the skills, the managerial skills that you require, the personality skills that you require, and obviously the subject knowledge that you require to excel in future to enter the corporate world. It is all and everything related with business administration. मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल लेता हूँ. सपोज कि मैं एक सर्विस प्रोवाइडर का कार्ड खरीदता हूँ, एयरटेल का अगर मैं कार्ड खरीदता हूँ, एयरटेल वाला बोलता है कि 199 रुपीज में मुझे इतना टॉक टाइम मिलेगा, इतना SMS मिलेगा, ये मिलेगा, वो मिलेगा. अब ऑब्वियसली जिसने मुझे कार्ड दिया वो तो सेल्स का बंदा है, करेक्ट. अब उसने जो चीजें दी बोली है और एग्जैक्टली वही चीजें होती है जब मैं वो कार्ड से पेमेंट करता हूँ या वो कार्ड लेके मैं अप्लाई करता हूँ मेरे नंबर पे. सो ये क्यों होता है? क्योंकि एक प्रोसेस डिफाइंड होता है. नाउ यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड अ प्रोसेस. Process is very important to run a business. If you don't have a proper process, you will not be able to learn. So business administration basically helps you there to define a process जो एक सिस्टम को चलाता है. जब तक सिस्टम प्रॉपरली नहीं चलेगा, हमारे पास एंड यूजर के पास जो कंसेप्ट्स है, जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, वो नहीं पहुंच पाएगी. तो सिस्टम की बहुत जरूरी है. तो MBA, PGDM, MMS, PGP, ये नाम अलग है लेकिन सबका काम एक ही है कि तुम्हें बिजनेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सिखाना है, तुम्हें मैनेजमेंट सिखाना है, तुम्हें थेरोटिकल सब्जेक्ट्स हो गए, प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस दिया जाएगा, मे बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंटर्नशिप, मे बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ केस स्टडीज, कुछ भी हो सकता है, वहां पे तुम्हें सिखाया जाता है. अब ये नाम का सिर्फ मैं एक बेसिक तुम लोगों को डिफरेंस समझा देता हूँ. MBA या MMS, बेसिकली MBA MMS में कोई फर्क नहीं है. मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी तुम्हें MMS देता है और अगर तुम मुंबई यूनिवर्सिटी के बाहर जाओ तो वो MBA देता है. या फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं NMIMS यूनिवर्सिटी की बात करूं तो NMIMS यूनिवर्सिटी तुम्हें MBA देगा. सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट द नेम. इट इज all you need to see is कि MBA or MMS is provided by a university. MBA हो या MMS हो, ये नाम देने का राइट सिर्फ एक यूनिवर्सिटी का होता है। अब कुछ इंडिविजुअल इंस्टीट्यूट्स होते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल SP जैन हो गया मुंबई में, फॉर एग्जाम्पल IIMS, जैसे 2017 के पहले IIMS MBA नहीं देते थे, वो PGP देते थे, दैट इज पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम इन मैनेजमेंट। IIM कलकत्ता PGDM देता था। तो सबके अलग अलग नाम थे, क्यों? क्योंकि वो यूनिवर्सिटीज नहीं है, वो इंडिविजुअल इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट्स है। तो काफी लोगों ने IIT सुना होगा, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, और ये हो गया IIM, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मैनेजमेंट। Okay, so MBA, MMS, PGDM, PGP will not make much of a difference. You have to first look for the university, or you have to first look for the institute that is offering, and then go dig detail about these courses. Correct? So today what I am going to focus about is the full-time MBA, because majority of the people who are here are either graduating students or just done with the graduation. So I will focus on the 2-year full-time MBA part. Okay, I hope you have understood that MBA and MMS is given by a university, and an institute gives you PGDM or PGP or PGBM, etc. Yeah, sure. So why MBA? So I will give you 10 points why MBA. Okay, PPT is visible or not? Someone is saying that PPT is not visible.
It is visible. It is visible.
Okay, okay.
It's visible.
Okay, great. So I suggest the one who is not able to see the PPT, please log out and log in again. Then you will be able to see it. So why MBA? So let me give you 10 reasons why you can go for an MBA. So these are the 10 reasons. So recently we have started with a YouTube channel by the name of Sharing the Scoop, where we are interviewing a majority of the college MBA students who have either completed their MBA or who have done 1 year of their MBA from the institutes. So we are targeting majority of the institutes, and when we ask them what changes they have seen in themselves before an MBA and after the MBA, the majority of the people are answering that they see the overall personality development in themselves. So whether it is about presentation, whether it is about connecting with people, whether it is about talking in front of a huge crowd, they are now very much confident once they are done with the MBA part. Then the second point is direct corporate entry. So there are many cases wherein a student can directly go into corporate. They can enhance knowledge because again there are theoretical subjects. Now majorly in MBA, the students are taken through the very basic subjects of marketing, finance, HR, and operations. Now there can be other subjects as well, but these are the main 4 subjects which are taught in MBA. So the first year at majority of the places is common, wherein the students are taken through all these subjects. So it enhances their knowledge. Then next part is networking. Now how networking affects. Now this is very important point. All those who are aiming for MBA should understand that networking is the main point of doing an MBA. So say suppose now this is a pandemic. Now think from the perspective of people who have currently done their MBA in this pandemic batch, and there is job scarcity. So people are looking for job. There are few people who have been relieved from by their company for some or other reasons. Correct. We all know what is happening outside. So how will they get new job? How will be they able to get hired by someone else? So that is through networking. So say suppose in my college, I had a friend who was in HR and who is an HR in a big firm. He or she might help me to get a job. Correct. So networking helps a lot in MBA. Then peer learning. So 80%. So many of the MBA college professors says that 80% of the learning comes from peer group. I am a science grad. If there is someone who is commerce grad, he will help me in accounts. I will help him in topics which are related more towards science. Correct. So which are more related towards the practical aspect or a different perspective towards the MBA. So this really helps. The 80% of the knowledge sharing is done through peer group. So worldwide credentials, better career opportunities, career change. Career change is the another point. So for example, I am engineer and I am now working in sales and marketing part. Correct. So the career change which has happened is all because of MBA. So this provides me a platform to change my career from one point to other. There are many engineers who go to finance. There are finance grad who goes to HR. So MBA provides you an opportunity to do the career change. Then obviously a better pay package. So pay package follows. If you want to start your own company, if you want to go on the entrepreneur line, then you can be your own boss. It obviously boosts a lot of confidence in you. Okay, so these are the big 10 reasons why you can go for an MBA. So now the agenda of today's webinar is this 7 points which I'm going to discuss: eligibility criteria, selection procedure, MBA entrances, exams, patterns, specialization, top B schools, and niche colleges in India. So let us start with this one by one. So first, eligibility criteria. Now the eligibility criteria for MBA is very simple as far as the Indian B schools are concerned. So basically MBA colleges ko we call as B schools because this is going back to a school to learn the business part. So we call it as B school. So the criteria is very simple. You have to have 50% in your graduation. That's it. So even if you were not good in 10th, even if you were not good in 12th, that is okay. You can appear for the entrances. There are no issues at all. Okay. So huh. So, but if you have good person in 10th, if you are a good person in 12th, it obviously helps because what we call in selection part is PAR. PAR is past academic record. So if you have good past academic record, it helps. So for a student who have always excelled in graduation in 10th and 12th, or for the student who was a backbencher, MBA is perfect for each and every person. All you need to do is have a passion, a interest to do something in your life. And if you have that passion, if you have basic logical reasoning thing in you, then you can go for an MBA. Now, what is the selection process for MBA? So now basically this is divided into two parts because any B school thinks that a student or an aspirant should not be only intelligent or brilliant, but should be good in the communication part, in the teamwork part, and should come out as a team leader as well. So they divided it into two stages. First is aptitude test, which we call as MBA entrances. And the second is personality round, which we generally call as GD and PI. Right? So now there are cases wherein colleges are not conducting GD, but they are taking VAT. So VAT is written ability test, and this is nothing but writing an essay. So I will give you an example. There was a time when IIMs used to conduct group discussion. Now IIMs are not taking GD, they are taking VAT because there have been cases when a topic is given and in a group the fish market has started happening. So the person who is serious, the person who is mature, obviously is supposed to stay calm and silent in a fish market. But if the same person stays calm and silent in a fish market, then he does not get an opportunity to talk. And if he does not get an opportunity to talk, then he will not get marks. So what they did now is they replaced GD with VAT. So everyone will get a chance to write on a topic in the way they wish to. So they can bring in statistics, they can bring in general awareness, etc. So GD, VAT and PI and the aptitude part. Now let us understand why aptitude part is important. Aptitude part is not only about screening the students, is not only about selecting the people. Now I am a science grad. If someone is commerce background, if some other one person is from arts background. Now what is common among all of us is the 10th level subjects, because we all went through 10th level. 11th and 12th might be different and graduation is very much different, correct? So 10th level English, 10th level maths is taken into consideration, and aptitude test judges your time management skills, your priority skills, your way of solving a question quickly, whether you are able to go through all these subjects, because English, maths and reasonings are the core subjects. So I will come to the subjects in the later slides. So these are the three subjects. So whether you are able to cope up with all this thing or not, hence aptitude is very important. And once you have cleared the aptitude aptitude, you go for the second stage, that is GD and PI or VAT and PI. So in GD, they generally take into consideration the points or your awareness about the topic. So say suppose if I give you a topic about the economic package that the government has released, or 20 lakh crore package which the government has released, if you have to talk, you might not have sufficient points if you have not read newspaper. So if you have read newspaper, obviously you will have many points to talk about, correct? So these things are taken into consideration when a group sits in for a GD. Secondly, they check whether you have team skills or not. So say suppose if someone is talking about on a point and you abruptly or very rudely cross that point with the person, then it does not reflect a positive attitude, which affects in GD. Then next comes PI. Personal interview is more about the introspection of a candidate. So how good you are as an individual, what are your career plans, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, etc. What do you like to do in your free time? So all these questions come out in interview, right? So I hope I have given you a basic idea about stage 1 and stage 2. So now let us talk about the stage 1, the aptitude test or the MBA entrance test. So these are the different MBA entrances. I mean, this does not cover each and every MBA entrance that happens in India or abroad, but this covers the majority of the entrances which students go for. CAT is the first and foremost entrance test, common admission test, which is every year conducted by Indian Institute of Management. Now there are 20 IIMs in India. This entrance is conducted in the month of November, December. So there is only one attempt in a year and it has negative marking. So you can go through this slide. You can see there are different entrances. So ZAT is an entrance, IFT is an entrance, NMAT is an entrance, SNAP, TestNet, MyCAT, CMAT, CET. So CET happens in the March, which is the last of all the entrances. So these are the different entrances which happens in India. So I will quickly move on to the next part because this is just about the reading the things. Now there are few important things that you can see. First is about NMAT. If you look at NMAT, you will see the attempts are 3. So NMAT is now taken over by GMAT. GMAT is a worldwide body which conducts the exam that is GMAT. So GMAT is now the controller of NMAT. Hence, they give an opportunity that a student can write 3 times the entrance in that 2.5 month span, which starts from October and ends in December. So there are 5 windows and a student can select any 3 windows and appear in those 3 windows to improve his or her score. Unlike CAT or ZAT, which only happens once in a year, or CET as well, which happens only once in a year. So NMAT gives you that chance. Okay, so roadmap of entrances, again the same thing. You can see the majority of the entrances in any year starts from October and goes till March. This year we are expecting that it should start from October, but as we all know that the Maharashtra lockdown has extended till 31st of July. So let us wait and see what happens in future. So majorly it starts from October, ends in March. So first entrance that a student writes is NMAT. But anyways, the student can write NMAT in December also. Okay? So that is all a 2.5 month period wherein the student can write. Then CAT happens in November, last week of November. IFT again last week of November or first week of December. SNAP happens in mid of December. MyCAT happens in December. IPSAT happens in December end. TEST happens in first week of January. ZAT happens in first week of January. CMAT happens in February. And last is Maharashtra CET, which happens in March. Okay? CMAT might happen in February or January. So it depends. These are the major entrances and this gives you the timeline of these entrances. So I will quickly move on to the next slide. I hope I have given you the idea that October to March is the main time when majority of the students will be appearing for these entrances. So let us see the exam pattern. Now, these are the 3 main subjects. As I told you at the start itself, these are the 3 subjects: quantitative ability, which we call as maths, verbal ability, which we call as English, and logical reasoning and data interpretation. So quantitative ability as quantitative aptitude or quantitative ability, QA, generally we call it as quant also. As I said, this is maths. So 10th level takka maths. So you will have algebra, you will have geometry, but remember, This is not a normal mathematics. This will involve a lot of logical part as well. Okay? So don't just think that this has only maths in it. This will have a logical part as well. So you have to be good with all the things. Verbal ability is about English, so reading comprehension, synonym, antonym, grammar, filling the blanks, etc. will come into picture. Logical reasoning is entirely logic. So if a person goes in north, takes right, then takes left, then in which direction he's looking now. So there are very less chances that maths will come into picture in logical part. But logical is more about applying your basic sense of awareness which you have. Correct. So logical reasoning is very interesting as well. Data interpretation is more about graphs, pie chart, bar chart, etc., which happens to be there. So now let us move. So now what happens? This is the exam pattern, as we all can see. The very important point is this exam pattern or this syllabus remains same for each and every entrance. So whether you go for NMAT, whether you go for CAT, ZAT, IFT, CMAT, CET, this is going to remain same. The paper pattern is going to differ. Understand, the paper pattern is going to differ. The syllabus is going to remain same. So CAT has 100 questions, CET has 200 questions. CAT, in case of quant, verbal and logical reasoning, it has almost equal distribution. So 1/3 of each section is covered. And in case of CET, 50% is dedicated for reasoning part. So the pattern differs, but the topics remain the same. Correct? So let us move on to the next part, that is specializations. Now inside MBA, there are so many specializations which are out there. So marketing is there, sales is there, finance is there, HR is there. So operations is there. We call ITS systems, which is there, and other specialization. So as you all can see, depending on your interest. So say suppose I'm a person who has a very good hold on accounts, who has a very keen interest in economics, can go for finance as a specialization. I'm a person who like to make new friends, who like to convince people, who like to talk with people freely, can opt for marketing. HR is more like wherein you are a bit of motivational, wherein you are able to handle the internal organizational part. So HR is good for you. Operations is more like for engineers, but obviously non-engineers also go for operations, where majority it is made for engineers. Same is for supply chain management. But yes, a non-engineer can also go for this part. IT, obviously IT will have IT related subjects wherein you will have to go through their subjects and understand. So there are many specializations under MBA which you can see. Now let us talk about the colleges which are there. So these are the different colleges. IIMs are there, as I said earlier. So there are total 20 IIMs in India. IIM, ABC, LIK are the older IIMs, and they accept CAT score. So understand that this entrance is important as per your target college. Fine. So what happens when we talk about graduation? We generally think whether I should go for BCom, whether I should go for BMS, whether I should go for BAF. When you think of doing an MBA, you have to do a reverse engineering. First, decide which specialization you want to go for. So once you have decided which specialization you want to go for, go through the college list. Which college will offer me that specialization? Then go to their eligibility criteria section. Are they asking for something additional apart from the graduation percentage? If they are not, then you can go and apply. Now, which is the entrance test that this college is asking for? Correct. Then decide on the entrance. So don't jump directly on entrance that I will appear for CAT, I will appear for SNAP. No. First decide which specialization you want to go for. Then decide which college will offer me that specialization. And then decide which entrances are there via which I can go into this college. So if you can see, IIMs are CAT, FMS is CAT, XLRI is that, SPGen is CAT and Z. So if I want to go into SPGen, CAT or ZAT person, even if I appear only for CAT, that will be sufficient for me until and unless I match the criteria. Then MDI is CAT, NMIMS is NMAT, SYMBIOS is SCM, HRD, SIBM is SNAP. So these are the different entrances which are there. If a Mumbaikar wants to go, or a Maharashtra candidate wants to go for JBMS or SIDNAM, then they can go via MHCET entrance. For JB and SIDNAM, for all India level C, they accept CAT and ZAT entrance as well. So there are different entrances again via which you can go for this institutes, right? Again, these are the different institutes which are there. So now let us understand the niche program. So first I give you a brief idea about the specializations which are there: marketing, finance, HR, operations. Now there are few niche MBA programs which are out there, which again you can look forward for. So first thing is agribusiness management. Now the students who are doing the bachelor's in agriculture science can go for agribusiness management. So institutes like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Lucknow, SIIB offers these specializations. There are many other B schools, but I have kept only 3 or 4 institutes for every niche program. So you can go for this institutes if you are looking for agribusiness management. If suppose you are looking for international business, then IIFT, because IIFT full form is Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. So someone tomorrow decides that I want to go into import and exporting, I want to know more about the foreign trade which is out there, then you can go for IIFT college. SIIB again offers international, because IB is international business. MDI Gurgaon has IIM as a course, which is international management. KJ Somaiya also has IB as a MBA degree with them. So you can go for this institutes under international business. Then rural management, IRMA, where R is for rural. So you can go for IRMA Institute, you can go for XIMB, you can go for XISS Ranchi. So IRMA is in Anand, Gujarat. XIMB, B is for Bhubaneswar, which is in Orissa. XISS is in Ranchi, Jharkhand. So you can go for this institutes for rural management. Rural management gives the opportunity to those people who want to see certain change in public policies, who want to enter directly into the portfolio of government of Maharashtra or government of India kind of thing, who want to do some changes in their native village or native town. So they can go for rural management. Then sustainable management. Now this is new term that is coined in management nowadays, that is sustainable management. Now what happens in sustainable management? This is very important and I really take this very seriously. This is all about climate change. Now we have seen locust attack, we have seen the cyclones which are affecting. In Mumbai also there was a cyclone, but it did not affect much on the western side of Mumbai. So there are so many changes that are happening in climate. The plastic issue which is always there, which will stay again in future. So this has a lot of effect on our climate. So considering the climate change, considering the CSR activities, sustainable management is started in few colleges. So I am Ahmedabad, I am Lucknow, XIMB, IIFM. FM is forest management, which is in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So if someone wants to go in forest management, can go for IIFM. If someone wants to go in sustainable management, can also go for IIFM Institute. Then media and communication, if someone wants to go in media, mass media, advertising, then MICA is in Ahmedabad, SIMC, Symbiosis Institute, KJ Somaiya. HR, these are the HR institutes. There are many students who ask me, sir, I want to go for HR. See, majority of the top institutes offer HR, but these are few institutes who have kept HR different from their business management program. So XLRI have kept the entire batch of 60 students different. TES again has specialization in HR only. IIM Ranchi HR, MDI HR, NMIMS HR, etc. Then healthcare, if someone wants to go in healthcare, so people like doctors, people like who are in home science, biotechnology, if they want to go in healthcare, they can go for institutes like TAPMI, TES, which is in Mumbai, JIM, which is in Goa. So you can go for these institutes. Pharma management, if someone is from B Farm or M Farm, can go for institutes like NMIMS or SIES for pharma management. If someone is from engineering background and wants to go for infrastructure management or construction management, so these are the different institutes which you can look forward for. NICMAR is in Pune, UPES, which is petroleum and engineering. SCM HRD again offers infrastructure management. So you can go for these institutes. Business analytics. Now this is again a booming thing which is happening nowadays. And as Dr. Kanchan ma'am said that machine learning, then deep learning or analytics is very much important these days, artificial intelligence, everything. So business analytics can be learned at this institute. Now, if you see the first institute that I have written is IMC ISI, which is Statistical Institute, and IIT Kharagpur. These are the institutes which give a collaborate program for business analytics, top in India. So you can go for these institutes again, then SCM HRD, SCIT, and there are different institutes again nowadays which are offering business analytics. So if you want to go in business analytics, if you are interested in learning few computer languages, so there is R language which is involved. So if you are okay with learning these languages, you can go for business analytics course. This will help you a lot. Telecom management, if there are engineers who want to go for telecom management, can go for IIT or SITM. If there are people who don't want to go into the business administration part, but want to do something on the similar lines in finance, can go for MSc Finance. So JBIMS as of now is the reputed and top institute under MSc Finance in India. They offer a very good program for MSc in Finance. So you can go and apply there. Even NMIMS provides the MSc in Finance course. Then there are certain institutes which might not be open for all the students. So for example, majorly IITs, IISc and NITI, they say that they need someone who has 4 years of graduation. So 4 years is mainly for engineering. Even a non-engineering student can go, but then they will have to do their 3 years of graduation and 2 years of masters in something, and then they can go for MBA, which will be something which does not seem to be much of a realistic approach. So they mainly say that they need engineers in this program. So majorly IITs like IIT Powai, IIT Delhi, IIT Roorkee, etc. They have their own management campus wherein they teach students MBA. So IIT is IISc, NITI. So if there is any engineer who is watching this, you can note down these institutes and you may think about these institutes. Then there are certain niche institutes. So say suppose if I want to go into banking management. So there is an institute by the name of NIBM in Pune, which is directly governed by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So they have only 60 seats and they offer PGDM in banking management. So you can go for it. NIA is again a national institute in insurance. So if someone is looking to go and make a career in insurance. So when I'm talking about insurance, I'm not talking about selling the insurance. I'm talking about making the insurance policies, correct? Drafting them. So NIA will offer them. If there is someone who is watching this and is a doctor and want to go in healthcare management or want to go in hospital administration, can go for Symbiosis Institute of Hospital Sciences for taking this MBA ahead, right? So I hope I have given you a rough idea about the different specializations which are there, and there are niche institutes, niche programs which are offered by these institutes. Now let me go on to the second stage. So second stage is personality round, which is nothing but GD, VAT and personal interview. So as I said earlier, GD is group discussion, wherein you will be, there will be a group of 10-12 people will be given a topic and you are supposed to talk on it. So there are different types of topics. So there can be topics which are based on general awareness. So economy package which was released by the government of India. There can be a topic which is maybe based on science. So how is artificial intelligence helping the companies to progress? There can be generic topics like women managers are better than men managers. So everyone will have some or other points to discuss. Or there can be abstract topics as well. So abstract topic is like grass is green. So in IIM Ahmedabad, when first time this topic was said, grass is green, everyone was like, what are we supposed to talk? Are we supposed to talk on photosynthesis? Grass is green. So you can relate so many things. You can relate green color with something. You can relate grass with something. So there are so many things which you can relate with this abstract topic. So another abstract topic that came in GD was zero. So talk on zero. So everyone was like shocked, like what are we supposed to talk on zero? It is just a number, just a digit. So yes, there are such kind of topics which are asked in MBA GDs. So you have to go through all this thing. You have to apply your logic. You have to relate this with some or other stuff, and then come out with a mature thought process. Okay. Then personal interview, as I said earlier, so they will be knowing more about you. They will be asking you what are your interests, what are your hobbies. So I had one of my student, and she is like a biker. She likes to ride bikes. So she is so passionate about riding bikes. She has kept her Instagram account name by the name of Pulsar Rider. So she is very much happy with riding bike. So if you have something like that, there are people whom I have seen have read entire episodes or entire novels of Harry Potter, and they are so interested that they have specs of Harry Potter. They have something and other merchandise part of Harry Potter with them. Okay, so everything is discussed in interview. So they take ahead what are your interests, what are your passion, and accordingly they judge on the parameters of your confidence, your communication skill, your way of answering a question, the way of handling stress, etc. So these are the parameters which are generally tested in interview. Okay, again, so now if I take an example of Symbiosis Institute have a very different way of judging people. They take group exercise, which we generally call as management games. So they will give you random thing, and you have to come out as a physical activity. You have to complete that process in a group. So this happens in Symbiosis, might happen at other places as well. So these are the different management games. So there are places when a student is supposed to go through the group exercise part, and they don't have GD as such. So they ask students to go through the group exercise. Okay. Okay. So that's majorly from my side. So then I will take 2 minutes of my time to talk about CPLC. But before that, I can see there are certain questions.
Yeah, there are some
Which
questions, right?
Yes, yes.
Which you'll be taking, yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, can you tell us about Tier 1 and Tier institutes? Gayatri, I'm not sure what you are definitely asking about Tier 1 and Tier 2. I have kept few institutes here under Tier 1 and Tier 2. So it entirely depends on how we define tiers. Is it based on the average packages? So I've kept average package here, which majorly students ask, but I don't much believe in average, because if you have proper skill, you may even bag a offer of 1 CR as a per annum package. So these are just average package, may not reflect actual package which every student gets in this institutes. So if you are defining the Tier 1, Tier 2 based on the average package, you can see. And yes, if you look about the institution, infrastructure, faculty, the way amount of effort that are put behind a student, then yes, IIMs are the top ranking ones. XLRI is again under top 5. FMS. So these are not mainly based on the number wise. These are the Tier 1 institutes which you can look forward for. And these are the Tier 2 institutes which you can look forward for. GMAT, Sahil, I'm so sorry I cannot take each and everything out of MBA. But since you have asked about GMAT, I will just take 2 minutes to answer this question. GMAT is considered mainly by abroad universities, but there are few universities, for example, ISB in Hyderabad, which accepts GMAT score. Now, GMAT is mainly for people. So see, in abroad, how do they define MBA? Is the one who has a sufficient amount of experience, so 2-year experience or 5-year experience. This is when they defined it as MBA. If the person goes as fresher, mainly in USA, if a person goes as a fresher, they call it as MIM, that is Masters in Management. So if you are talking about MBA or MIM, if you want to go for GMAT, you can appear for GMAT anytime in the year. You have to just take an appointment and you can go for that test. The test is also on the same lines as CAT. The syllabus is again same. The paper pattern is different. So GMAT, now again NMAT is also an adaptive test. So what does adaptive test mean? Adaptive test means that if suppose there is a question 2 plus 2, what is 2 plus 2? And if I answer 4, then the next question that will pop up will be of high difficulty level. But if I take 2 plus 2 as 5, which is obviously incorrect, then the next question will be of lower weightage. So lower marks will be there. So this is what we call as adaptive test. So out of 800, getting a 400 or 450 score is very much normal in GMAT. If you have a score of somewhere around 700, 720, then that is generally known as a very good score. So that is about GMAT. If you are targeting abroad universities, you might have to go for GMAT. And nowadays there are many universities abroad which does not take GMAT as well. They, based on your IELTS or TOEFL, they will give you an admission. So you might not have to go for GMAT. Okay, the one who are asking for feedback link, we will send the feedback link on Telegram group. So please wait for it.
Sir, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions in chat box. It is a word to repeat any of CET or CAT and scored ATI.
Okay. So Sairaj is asking, is it? Okay. I can see, ma'am. I will take it forward.
Yeah.
So is it worth to repeat any of CAT or CET? I have gap of 2 years, but scored 88% in current CET in 20 days. As previously, I was preparing for IES. See, it entirely depends on you. I have recently made a video and put up on my YouTube channel whether you should repeat or not. Those who are thinking of repeating CAT or CET, there are 2 or 3 points which I will quickly take you through. First is you are going to go through all these subjects again. Remember, you will be reading the same quantitative ability, same verbal ability, same reasoning which you have already seen. So if you feel that in your previous attempt you did not like the subjects, you did not like aptitude, hence you did not study and hence you were not able to score, then remember that you have to study the same subjects again. So are you motivated enough to do so again for the next 6 months? There shouldn't be any excuses. If yes, then you can go and repeat. Second point is, if you have missed a college by say 4 or 5 marks. So for example, NMIMS cutoff was 210, but you scored 205. You missed it by 5 marks, correct? So then you can repeat, because next time you have high chances of scoring that well. If say suppose you got a call, say suppose I got a call from IIM ABC, but I couldn't convert the GDPI, then yes, I can go for again one more chance so that I can get through the GDPI process. But those who are getting very less marks, correct, should think again, because you will have to study the same subjects again and again. Another very important point is, remember, once you are done graduation, please take up either internship or a work ex. If you are blindly putting all your time for CAT study or CET study, the interviewer is literally going to screw you up. So please take certain experience, even if it means part-time work ex, even if it means that you are going with your father in his business, in his or her business, if you are going with your mother for her business. So please take certain experience or join some internship, do something online, do certain courses. There are so many. I am doing psychology course online. So why you cannot do digital marketing, do NISM certificates. So there is so much to do outside. Do CFP course. You can start with CFA if you are done with your graduation, if you are interested. So there are so many things that you can do outside. For engineers, you can go for Six Sigma belt. which will help you in operations tomorrow. So please do something or the other. Don't sit idle, because you are not going to study for 12 hours in a day once you are done with your graduation. Those who are doing their graduation, okay? Again, so this was all about repeating CAT or CET. Those who are doing their graduation, generally I get a question from students, sir, graduation ही बहुत hectic होता है, so I am not able to cope up my graduation studies and simultaneously prepare for MBA. I want to ask you a question. For semester papers, I mean, put your hand on your heart and tell me the answer. For semester papers, how much time do you dedicate? I'm sure everyone would be clearing their subjects, but the amount of time spent to clear those subjects, to clear the graduation, to clear the semester is very less, and you are free for most of your time. So, and your college also gets over by afternoon, so by 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock at max. Correct. So there might be few colleges who start late but end in evening. So you are free in the morning time. You are free in the evening time. See, basically you have to manage your time. MBA is all about management. So if you are not able to manage your time simultaneously with graduation, you should literally think again of doing an MBA. Please manage, try making a habit, prioritizing, managing the time, and go ahead with these studies. Even if you fail, say suppose I am not able to crack my CAT entrance when I am in my third year of graduation, or for engineers final year of graduation, fourth year of graduation, then you can put one more year, because now you already went through the basics. All you have to do is practice, so you can manage it simultaneously by working at the different institutes, right? Okay. Then the other question that we have, some people say that MMS is a term used for MBA in Maharashtra. Is this true? Yes, definitely. See, MBA is Masters in Business Administration. This is Masters. So MCOM is Masters. What is its graduation? BCom. Correct. So similarly, MBA's graduation is BBA, but Mumbai University call it as BMS. So Bachelor's in Management Studies, and Master's is MMS. Are you getting my point? So there is no difference between Mumbai's MMS and any other MBA. It's just the difference in name. The study is going to remain same. You will be learning marketing. You will be learning finance. You will be going through Philip Kotler books. So don't worry. You will be going through all these things. Okay. So, sir, for what durations course of CAT are only 1 year? CAT, XAT, NMAT, CET, for all the entrances which I showed to you, 1 year is the time period. Just send a PPT also and for reference. Yes, I will send the PPT on email to all of you. Please check your spam for any email if you don't get it in your inbox. So what are options are available for finance MBA and fees? Oh yes, I forgot to cover very important part, that is fee structure of a B school. Now, if you go at IIMs or if you go at very good institutes under MBA, the fee structure will range somewhere between 18 lakhs to 23 lakhs, because these are residential courses, and the colleges have to pay by themselves to the faculties, and they have to maintain their infrastructure. Hence, the cost is too high. But believe me, even if you look such a big figure, so 20 lakhs for 2 years or 21 lakhs for 2 years, if you get an IIM, if you get an SPGen, MDI, NMIMS, the banks will be very happy to offer you loans. All you need to fulfill their prerequisites, that you are filing the income tax and you are doing the other steps which they are asking. So don't worry, you will get education loan. Focus on your studies. Yes, the costs are high, but there again are certain institutes which are very cheap. For example, FMS, the one which I showed you on in the first year college, FMS is Faculty of Management Studies in University of Delhi. You won't believe, but the fee structure there is only 25,000 for a year. So 50,000 mein to MBA ho jata hai. And they offer such a high average package. Now why? Because it is a university department. So the college does not have to pay for the faculty cost or the infrastructure cost. Hence, they are not asking it from the students. Hence, there is such a big difference. difference. Even if you look at JBIMS, this year JBIMS made the fee structure to 6 lakhs. But before that, it was 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. Sydenham is still 1.5 lakhs. So understand why the fees is less, because this is a university department. The university is facilitating them with some or other things, and they are financing a bit for it. So there are certain institutes which are cheap. There are certain institutes which are fees are very high. But if you have a very good institute, go for education loan and don't give up on the dream of your MBA. Okay, so what are options available for finance MBA? As I said, almost all institutes, so 98% of institutes in India for MBA offer finance. So options available, all the lists which I have shown. So I am ABC, LIKS, XLRI, FMS, everyone offers you finance specialization. How to manage funds for pursuing this program? So as I said earlier, yes, the bank will not give you, might not give you 100% of loan. You have to shell out some amount of money from your side as well. So it can be 70%, which will be 70 or 80%, depending upon banks and their rules. They will be able to finance you. So you can approach your banks wherever you have your account. So colleges for doing MBA in foreign trade. So as I said earlier, IIFT is there, SIIB is there, even KJ Somaiya in Mumbai gives you international business. Apart from this, again, there are other institutes which gives. Then okay, so what about students who have scored less than 50% graduation? Is they eligible for MBA? See, the norms which are given by 50% in graduation is given by AICT, which again rules the majority of the part of infrastructure and governing part of an institute. So they have to follow these norms. Secondly, getting a low score in graduation obviously affects. So I'm sorry, there are few institutes, but they are not that good at the level of this previous institutes. So it is mandatory that you have 50% for for open candidate. But if you are from SC, ST, then you can go for 45%. Is there MBA in education management? I'm so sorry. I'm not much aware about education management, if there is any institute as well, because generally students does not want to go for education industry, which I have seen over the times when I hire people. Is there any kind of scholarship? Yes, there are always scholarships which are there. You have to go on individual websites. Once you are done with their process, apply for the scholarship. So there are scholarships which are given on the websites of those institutes itself. And there are few private funding institutes like Tata's have their funding part. They give scholarship. So you can find scholarships out there. What a specialization? Better finance is in itself a specialization. If you are talking about industries, then you can go on equity, you can go on banking front, you can go on corporate finance. You can say, suppose if you want to go into economics part, you can think about policy making. So there are public policy making programs related with finance also. So you can go there as well. Online MBA courses and its weightage. Online MBA or correspondence MBA or part-time MBA. Now understand, if you are thinking that I need a job, I want my college to offer me a job, to give me a campus placement, then online MBA or correspondence MBA and part-time MBA does not help. Now let me give an idea why these courses are there. Correspondence MBA or part-time, it is mainly for those people who are already working in an organization and they cannot leave their current organization because of some or other factors. Majorly is financial aspect, that they have to earn every month, correct? So they go for correspondence or part-time MBA because for after certain period in a company where the person is working, they need an MBA for appraisal, correct? Then they go for correspondence MBA or they go for part-time MBA. Else people don't go for MBA at all once they have started working. If they need, then they go. If the company is asking, then they go. So if the person is already working, then the college does not put in any efforts to place them, correct? So whom do they place? Who are not working, who are doing a full-time program and out of this working scenario at all. So college provides placement to those students, and placement for correspondence online MBA or part-time MBA is generally not provided. Again, you will have to check it from individual institute websites. So does it matter from which institute we do our MBA? Yes, it matters a lot. It matters a lot from where you do an MBA. Sir, what about students who have scored less than 50? Okay, we are done with this. So going at the bottom, I guess I have covered almost all the questions which are there. Okay, guys. So before you can start putting any questions, if I have missed any, I will just take 2 minutes of your time to take you through what
Vishesh sir.
CPA. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just two things. One thing is we are talking about online MBA thing which I put up, and
Yeah.
does there was a question here? Does IIMs and any IIMs provide any online courses?
Yeah. Almost all IIMs, IFT, XLRI provides online courses, but these are certificate courses. These are not
Certificate
degree or
courses.
yes. And these are short-term courses. So courses would be like
You
1 week. So they call it as MDP,
Ah,
Management Development Program.
okay.
So they have MDP, they have different certificate courses. But yeah, so they provide, and they have tie-up with certain service providers who provide internet connections. So there are designated centers, there are places where students can go and take these courses.
Okay. Fine. The last question is this technical question. There are a few who have registered, but not in the Telegram. How they get the feedback link?
So I said, like, I will send an email. So
Okay.
if it goes in the spam, please put it back in the inbox. So I will send an email as well to all the students.
Sure. Thank you.
Right.
Over to, I guess, Kanchan ma'am, if she has to say, unless you're going to say something, right?
one second,
Yeah,
one
ma'am.
second. So maybe Vishesh want to say something. Yeah,
Yes.
Vishesh, you have done it.
Yeah,
Vishesh,
ma'am.
you
I
have
will.
completed.
Yes, ma'am. Just I will take through the CPLC part. Just 2 more minutes, and I'm done.
Please, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, at CPLC, we provide training for CAT and other entrances which are there in India. So these are the things that we offer. So the main part that I see in today's world is the small batch size which we offer. And yes, we believe a lot in training students. So we focus a lot in individual mentoring. Okay,
Okay.
so these are the things that we offer. There are books, there are so many questions which we give. We have started with the online lectures as well. We provide video lectures, pre-recorded video lectures on Robomed Plus app. Then these are the different tests which we offer to all the students. I'm sure this will just be a number for majority of the people. So 600 plus test series is there. And not only this, we provide in-depth analysis for all these test papers as well. Then talking about the workshops, guest lectures by Excel, experts is there, preparation for group discussion, personal interview, VAT, all these things are covered under the one roof. So we will provide material, we will provide training, coaching for all these subjects. We will provide coaching for the second stage of selection as well. So that's it from my side, ma'am. If there is something else,
Yeah. I think now you whatever the question you will get, you can even send them on email the answers if they are very much eager to learn about MBA and more they want to find out about MBA. So they definitely they will approach you and they will solve their problems whatever they have related with their MBA program. So
definitely.
thank you, Vishesh sir. You came here, but your formal vote of thanks. My other person will definitely give. I have taken here just for the thing that our principal has given such opportunity to uh, give here or maybe organize here different kind of webinars. And we are
Oh,
happy that we have done one more webinar on this MBA professional program, which we want to definitely, it is beneficial for our student. And for that purpose, we have to take that. So you have taken very nicely. So we are really thankful to our principal, sir, that he has given us such kind of opportunity, and always he has boosting us ki you have to do this or that. So we are really thankful to him. Not only our principal, but our vice principal, Chandana Chakravarti madam, also always guided us on the part of, because she's a coordinator of IQAC, and that is what for keeping our IQAC more strong. She has always behind us and always boosting us to do such kind of programs which are beneficial for different kind of students. And today, this is means we can say that we got that success. Yes, it is very nicely you spoke on MBA and the whole journey of MBA. So for formal vote of thanks, over to you, Shuddho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that the participants are benefited with such useful information on the process of getting admission to master's course in business administration by an alumnus. Wishes sir, your insightful talk on the aptitude test, personality test, different types of examination, CAT, MAT, PET, MMAT, XAT, and so on, and also the exam syllabus and paper pattern, and diverse areas and niche programs and institutes in which one can do MBA will certainly help the prospective MBA aspirants to fulfill their dream of getting on board the ship of MBA course and be a cut above the rest in career. My sincere regards and gratitude is also due to our parent organization, Parle Tilak Vidyalay Association, for the support and patronage that we always receive from them for such noble educational activities. I feel fortunate to be the recipient of constant guidance and conditional unconditional support of our principal, respected Dr. Danisha Doke, who, like a captain of a ship on a voyage, has been providing robust support to all of us organizers of webinar. The internal quality assurance cell, who has also coordinated with us for this webinar, I thank from the bottom of my heart to our Vice Principal, Srimati Chandana Chakravarti, and also the IQAC coordinator for her support and guidance. And very importantly, our convener, Dr. Kanchan Fulmali. She is also the head of Department of Commerce. When I think about her as a convener, as a colleague, it reminds me of Mr. Shiv Kheraj's motivation speaker's words. In one of his anecdotes, shares that while there was an athlete who broke the record of high jump in the world, he was asked, "How did you accomplish to jump so high?" And he says that, "I throw my heart over the rope and my body follows." That's the way she works with all the colleagues in all the endeavors that she does in academia as well as research ones. And she puts her literally heart and soul in the work. So I thank you, Dr. Kanchan Fulmali, from the bottom of my heart to uh, organize such a wonderful seminar. I also take this opportunity to thank you, my colleague and co-convener of the webinar, Somnath Deshmukhia, for his painstaking efforts and unwavering support in coordinating with CPLC and hosting the webinar with such a great prowess. The webinar could garner huge response from the participants across the nation and the city as well. It is only because of our lovely colleagues, friends, students who have ensured that the webinar gets due publicity and proper participation of the participants. One prominent question I come across while proposing a vote of thanks, that what good a webinar would be without adequate number of enthusiastic and active participants. So I really thank all my dear participants of this webinar for actively participating, and wish you all a rewarding and a best career future. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, I've taken everybody's name. If I do at all, forget someone's name, please do excuse me. I thank all people who have knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly have supported this webinar. And I hereby conclude this webinar with the permission of our organizer, convener, Dr. Fulmali ma'am, and the guest. So I bid you farewell.
Yes.
Thank you. Take care. Stay safe.
Yes.
Stay healthy.
And thank you, Shuddho, you also. Thank you, Vishesh
It
sir.
was great.
Thanks
Thank you
a
so much,
lot.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
sir.
very much. And I think you'll provide the feedback link,
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.